We are beyond excited for the arrival of Utopia of the Seas. I've got hundreds of slides. I'm going to go really fast, and so if people have questions, they can obviously ask questions at the end and put your questions in there, and we'll do our best to answer them as we go. As you already know, we're sailing the world's biggest weekend out of Port Canaveral in 3-4 nights, as Vicki already mentioned. Really, as we think of the evolution of the Oasis class, which has been in 2009 was our game changer class, Utopia really focused on the ultimate dine and drink evolution. And now we don't talk about that publicly. So you're seeing a little bit of the sausage making of how we think internally. But the whole idea of that was to really rethink the food and beverage offerings for Utopia, the Oasis class. And I'm going to highlight some of what I think are the really exciting ones that are there. First is the extension, and we talk a lot about tradition, evolution, and revolution, and I know you've heard that from all of us before, but there are certain things within our brand that are traditions for us that you will always find on every class of ship we ever dream. My favorite to talk about in that bucket is the schooner bar. Michael's reminded me multiple times, if I try to get rid of the schooner bar, I might as well not show up for work. So the schooner bar is one of those traditions. Evolution is the classic evolution of those traditions as we hear from our guests. And as you all know, whether it's travel partners, whether it's guests through Medallia and surveys they fill out, whether it's research we do, we maniacally listen to every individual comment that people make. And then revolution are things we've never done before. And so in the case of Utopia, we've really elevated, which I would call our best in fleet Giovanni's. It's taking the place of where you traditionally think of as Wonderland in the 2-story deck 11-12. And we've taken Giovanni's Italian Kitchen and Wine Bar really to the next level with a couple of things that we think are going to be amazing. One, really great space to hang out in the kind of wine bar, charcuterie station space, a gorgeous reimagined kind of dining space. And then what we're probably most excited about in these images is our outdoor al fresco. So for the first time ever, we're actually putting outdoor seating perched over the boardwalk for a specialty restaurant and specifically for Giovanni's, which I think is going to be pretty tremendous. And so you can kind of see a sense of that outdoor terrace in some of this imagery. We've moved Izumi off of deck 4, and you'll see why, from the Oasis class up into the Central Park. Yes, that is following the movement or kind of configuration as we redreamed and reimagined and really thought through Icon. But we've expanded Izumi, which gives us double the hibachi capacity that we have for the Oasis class, which is pretty great. We've extended our Izumi in the park window, which we really love. And then we're adding a dedicated omakase experience that we've never done before. And so Izumi will have double the hibachi, a new omakase, and a really expanded and great sushi experience that we're pretty excited about. We also, again, will have Izumi in the park takeout, so you'll get great sushi to go, ice cream to go from a takeout window, which was introduced for the first time on Icon of the Seas and has been truly successful. We've evolved Park Cafe. Our goal for Park Cafe is to continue to expand its hours, expand its offering. We've really blended the concept further into Central Park, and we're excited about the evolution. We are ending in the Oasis class, and I've gotten some positive feedback and some mixed feedback on this for the people that have learned about it. We are ending the Bionic Bar. The Bionic Bar is 10 plus years old. It was really fun and novel when it came out. We looked at it and we looked at just general performance. If you've ever sailed with us before, you've already gotten your Instagram photo. And the Bionic Bar can frankly take, one drink, whereas one of our great bartenders at Bolero's across the street can take 40 drinks in that same time period. And so we looked at it and did a lot of consumer research on what guests were looking for. And a reimagined tiki bar and kind of that classic Florida tiki bar was what people were looking for. And we had a lot of fun concepting the pesky parrot. So as you arrive right on the Royal Promenade, you'll see the pesky parrot, which we think is going to be a really fun, highly interactive, loud, vibrant new tiki bar that we're adding. And there will be a parrot. And so you'll have to go in and meet Brian the drunk parrot inside of the pesky parrot. So you can see some of the really great renders. And I think one of the ones we're about to look at is a live photo of some of the construction. I've dropped in a few construction photos, and sometimes you can't ever tell if it's a construction photo or not. In this case, you see two of the AV guys. In the back, what you see is we wanted to really have an evolving facade. So you see we've integrated digital screens in a way that have placemaking for kind of this lost tiki bar. So a lot of fun that we've had in creating the pesky parrot. We've been on an evolution of our open deck. You know, our brand is a Fun in the Sun brand. We really are the Caribbean and Royal Caribbean, wherever we go in the world. You've seen that evolution from us, from Odyssey of the Seas to the revitalization of Oasis of the Seas to Wonder of the Seas to then Icon of the Seas. And Utopia really has taken it a step further. And so from a class perspective, Utopia's open deck will really be a best-in-class open deck. I got the chance to see near final product before she left the shipyard, and it really is living up to the kind of the hype and the experience. We've integrated the lime and coconut to a next level. We've added a multi-story lime and coconut facing both forward and aft. And so it really is a new tremendous experience. The synergy we got of Splashaway Bay and the perfect storm on Wonder we've continued. We have expanded sprinkles to be what I'm calling our best in fleet sprinkles. It's integrated, the design is tremendous, and we're introducing sprinkles for the first time. My 7-year-old, who was then 5-year-old when she saw sprinkles for the first time or remembered it, said to me, "Dad, why are there no sprinkles at your sprinkles?" And so we've been working to get sprinkles for a couple of years now. We're introducing the spare tire. So one of the important things we've heard from our guests is really great complimentary food close to the open deck or close to the pool. You saw that on Icon with the introduction of the Aquadome Market. In the case of Utopia, we're introducing the spare tire. So in addition to El Loco Fresh, there will be great complimentary food delivered from or handed out from the spare tire right on the open deck. We're continuing on with what's become a fan favorite in the Mason Jar, which is great live music, great bourbon drinks, great Southern food, just warm hospitality. We also, and if you've heard this story from me before, we initially, when we looked at Wonder, where we have the view bar, was supposed to be a hot tub, but thought we were out of water weight. And it turned out we were fine, but we'd already built the view bar. And on Utopia, we're going to put it back to a big hot tub, cantilevered hot tub, but guests love the view bar so much, and it gets such a great utilization from people. We've decided to keep the view bar on Utopia as a great spot next to the solarium. Like I said, Splashaway Bay and the Perfect Storm will stay next to each other. We've made the Ultimate Abyss even more ultimate. So Dirty Secret is that MSC snuck out a slightly longer dry slide to have the longest dry slide in the world, and that was not acceptable to us. And so we've not just extended the Ultimate Abyss. Yes, we made it 43 feet longer to make sure that we had the claim as the largest dry slide at sea. But we also made it more thrilling. And you can't really tell from this photo, but you'll have to ride it yourself, is right at the end where the two slides turn left and right. There's what looks like these two plugs, and the reality is those are acrylic. So it looks like you're flying into boardwalk before you get sucked in at the last minute and turn. And so we're really excited about amping up the thrill, not just making it, yes, the world's longest. We've reimagined the spa on Utopia and really elevated the design, which we're very excited about. Reimagined the design of the salon. And as Utopia is our first LNG ship, we had to do a certain number of changes that we've there's the old phrase, turn lemons into lemonade. We've really created what I would say is world-class lemonade. So we evolved the solarium, but probably most important, one of the knock-on effects is we had to make adjustments above the bridge wings and created these new, amazing, stunning, gorgeous solarium suites. And so each suite has essentially, I'm going to call it 270 degrees of views of the ocean because they're perched above the bridge wings. And so you're essentially getting the same view that the captain gets whether it's sea or pulling in and out of port. You can see that 270 view. So both the bedroom as well as the kind of main living space have just tremendous views of the ocean in what is an amazingly designed suite. A lot of that. We've also brought forward our Royal Bling product, introduced for the first time on Icon of the Seas. It isn't a dedicated store like an Icon. You'll see that Icon will continue to have, or the Icon class will likely continue to have dedicated stores. This is a niche inside of our Effie store, and so you'll be able to experience the Royal Bling product brought to you by Effie as well. And then one of the new real innovative features for us that we're introducing that I'll spend a few minutes on is the introduction of the Royal Railway. And you know, we've been on a journey for a while on what we call entertainment. You can say the OG or the original gangster entertainment was truly Azumi Hibachi, where you got to interact with the chef. The Mason jar is another great example of entertainment. Another great example of entertainment is Empire Supper Club on Icon of the Seas, which we are continuing on Star of the Seas as the Lincoln Park Supper Club. The whole idea of entertainment is, yes, there are a good chunk of our guests who love classic dinner and a show. Our research has shown there's such a large group of growing folks who want a different version of dinner and a show, where there's a more synergy or fusion of entertainment and food and what we've called or coined entertainment. And so in doing that, we know that people, you know, the top drivers for people going on a cruise are to go visit destinations and to eat. We see that in our research over and over and over again. And so as we went down that journey, we've tried different things. If you saw us in 2017, you saw us try this really crazy idea where we put you into a virtual world and let you eat. That was kind of fun and funny all at the same time. We've seen other people create rooms of monitors where they've put you in a complete bubble, and there's some real great examples of that around the world. And so we went out and did testing with guests of, do they want just a room with, you know, monitors and new thematic ideas, or do they want something different? And what we heard from people is they wanted something different. And so our ideation took us down a path of, what if we put a train on a cruise ship that could take you to virtually more destinations than we were already going to and feed you and possibly entertain you. And we didn't know if we were onto something or not. And so we did a bunch of creative explorations of, could it be immersive? Could it be unique? Could it be something for the family? Could it be a date night? And we went down a creative exploration and realized we could take you anywhere. We could take you in the Wild West. We could take you in the Silk Roads. We could take you on the Polar Express. We could take you anywhere and do it on long stories, short stories. And we decided to build a prototype in a couple of days in our lab here and took a bunch of people through that prototype. And instantaneously, we all said there was something here and we should try to go explore it. So where you kind of normally think of Azumi and the Oasis class, you find what's called Utopia Station. There's a fun hierarchy to this. The railway itself is the Royal Railway. The station is Utopia Station. Each dine car has a number to it. And then we take you on these train trips that are different stories and creative in a really fun and immersive way. We've designed the platform itself to have that ticker that you see in the old classic train stations. The architecture is all feels like this amazing train stations. Our new build team and architects and designers did such an amazing job with the facades. We built real trains, and I'll show you some mock-ups of how they're coming to life to really bring everything to life. You'll feel real train steam. You're suspending disbelief that you're leaving a cruise ship while in the ocean to go on a train that's going to take you to anywhere. And we are leaning into that motif as hard as we can to have a lot of fun with the Royal Railway. You're looking at a render, but the actual train looks like the design. And it really, we then looked at kind of what we wanted to do. And so it's mixed reality because you are in a train that's on a ship sailing in the ocean. It's performance. We want to have both lean in and lean back experiences, and I'll explain that in a second, and then really amazing culinary paired together. So there's two different types of what I would call dinner stories we're going to tell over time. One is a real family immersive, and so that is mixed reality. We're going to take you to places. There'll be actors who engage with you, great culinary. The second story that's coming, hopefully in about 30 days, it won't be there for day one, is not the Wild West, but then what we're calling Silk Roots, which is more of a lean-back date night experience. Great immersion, great culinary, probably less actors. Our first story, though, is the Wild West. And so we're taking you on a train trip of the Wild West. I'm going to take you through a very fast vignette of what you might experience or what you will experience. And we're going really far with this. You're going to get a real train ticket dropped off in your room. You've got to bring that train ticket. You also have to show up on time, because once the train leaves the station, you're actually not allowed to board. And so we did that for the first time with Empire Supper Club. We literally locked the door because it's a thematic journey we take you on. We're doing that here too. And so you'll go on the train leaves the station. If you get there ahead of time, it's great. You'll be able to sit on the platform, have a cocktail, possibly immerse with some of the Wild West characters that you're going to run into. And then there is, of course, an all aboard moment where we board everybody. We take your train ticket. The conductor, the train leaves the station. You'll get immersed in a gorgeous Wild West scenery. Interact with our wait staff. Interact with after they take your order. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm a dad. I've got really bad dad jokes. We've worked some really fun bad dad jokes in there, such as after we take your order, the conductor's going to come out and say, well, wait a minute. You know, I know for all of you who ordered the beef, the train left and we forgot to load the beef. We're so sorry. And then because we're in a world, the train will go past a cow pasture, the brakes will stop, a cow will look up at the thing, moo at us. The conductor will come back out and say, oh, nope, we're all fine. Beef's back on the menu. You'll hear some mooing in the background. Again, bad dad jokes. You can see we built the train in Dublin, Ireland. We had a train partner from around Ireland come in and consult as we went through the journey. We built a full mock-up here downstairs, brought people through it, brought kids through it, got their feedback, and our mock-up and prototype was absolutely a home run. You can see here some of the actors interacting, as it moves to the next slide, interacting with the world around them. And so you can see it truly is immersive dining, both visually as well as physically. And so we're really excited about how that is going to come to life for our guests. And so you can see some of the little dated construction photos and some of the video that you'll eventually see on the screen. And so that really is kind of a sneak peek of what you'll see, hopefully, if you're all here the next week or so on Utopia of the Seas. Got a few other things we're excited about. Icon 3 coming. I know you've heard us talk about Oasis 7. Oasis 7 is also coming. I'm not supposed to reveal anything. I'm sure there's 3 or 4 people from PR listening on here waiting to burst in and shut me down. But